The following video was made possible by a donation from that one guy, Torts. I hope you enjoy the video, but try to keep in mind, this was all your fault. Now show me your red, son!
So, what do we have planned for today?
Well, we just got back from picking up the copy of Black Ops 3 that Torch so kindly provided for us. So I'm going to take it back home and try it out for the review. It's supposed to be much better than the other one, so I'm sure I'm going to love it.
I thought you hated that series.
I do, but this one has a longer campaign and supposedly a better storyline. I'm sure I'm going to like it a lot.
One of my biggest complaints with this series has been the short, disposable nature of the campaigns. Yeah, I know no one really plays these for the campaigns, its fan base buys it for the multiplayer, but regardless, if you're going to build a campaign, it needs to be 8 to 10 hours in length for the average player on normal mode, and it needs to tell a good story. So when I heard Black Ops 3 was going to have both, I was initially optimistic about this maybe, just maybe, being the first Call of Duty since Modern Warfare that I would actually enjoy. Unfortunately, this would prove to not be the case at all. Black Ops 3 is just as much a piece of trash as the rest of the series has become. It just accomplishes it in newer, shittier ways.
Well, how is it so far?
It's strange. I'm doing things I've never been able to do in a Call of Duty game before, and yet...
And yet what?
And yet... I get the strangest feeling that I've done all of this before.
What, like deja vu?
I don't know, I just don't know. And the plot... It doesn't make any sense. I've tried, I'm reading the docs, the supplemental files, I'm reading them, it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any fucking sense at all. It doesn't make redneck. Oh, it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense.
Whereas the previous entry in the Black Ops series had branching paths with multiple endings, Black Ops 3 takes a step back by offering a linear plot with little replay value. The story takes place 50 or so years from now, when soldiers have cybernetic implants that tie them into a neural network, giving them instant mental access to maps, intel, visual overlays that display safe spot grids over their natural vision, and so on. They also gain bionic arms, legs, and other enhancements that give them increased strength, speed, agility, and jumping ability. In short, every soldier has become Master Chief. You start out a standard nameless soldier. Towards the end of the first level, you're nearly killed when one of the robot suits from Titanfall invades the game and rips both your legs off. The next thing you know, you wake up to the scene from RoboCop where doctors are huddled around you installing shit on you, and then bam, you're now a mechanically enhanced super soldier. There's just one problem. All the soldiers who receive said implants appear to be going batshit insane, including your commanding officer played by Chris Maloney. You know, the only interesting actor from Law & Order Special Victims Unit. It seems that there's a rogue intelligence that's taken over the neural network and is turning everyone rogue, including Maloney's character. The game eventually becomes a race against time to stop Maloney before the insanity takes you over as well. Only that's not really the plot at all. Well, it is, but it isn't. You see, and don't worry, no spoilers here, but it's all a swerve. In the very last scene of the game, it's revealed that everything you just played through and experienced was, in a way, total bullshit. I say in a way because it happened, it just didn't happen the way you were led to think that it happened. The problem is, there's nothing that you see in the course of playing the game that would help lead you to that conclusion on your own. In fact, it only really makes sense if you go back and read the novel's worth of supplemental files that you unlock during the course of the game, or take screen grabs of the censored text that flashes across the screen while the game is loading. Now, one thing any novelist or screenwriter worth a shit will tell you is keep it simple and get it all on the screen. Let the scenes tell the story. Give the viewer enough information where they can figure out the plot without bashing them over the head with exposition. None of that happens here. You are led to believe that you are experiencing a given storyline, only to find out in the very last scene that you were actually experiencing a different storyline altogether, but it gives you no explanation for how that was possible given what you saw. You have to go read the unlocked files to make any fucking sense of it, and even then, there are still fan forums full of gamers arguing over what that last shot really means to this day. That's how bad the writing is here. It tosses everything you experienced away to toss out an M. Night Shyamalan-inspired twist ending that is not supported by anything shown on screen up to that point. And what we do get to see is heavily borrowed from films like RoboCop, The Matrix, and The Lawnmower Man. It's your typical advanced weaponry gives your enemies advanced ways to fuck with you, future paranoia plot about the hidden dangers of man becoming one with machine. Only the very last scene makes it about something completely different. And what makes it even worse is that this campaign is stacked with false endings. During the last 2 hours of the game, you will think on at least 6 occasions that you've finished everything up, only to find out that no, there's still more of the frozen forest to fight through, or there's still more of the mystery to unravel. By the time the credits rolled, I had yelled, "Oh, come on!" so many times in that last couple of chapters that my throat was sore.
Hey, Dad, what you doing?
Oh, I'm working on my new review for Black Ops 3. It's coming along quite nicely. I think the fans are gonna love it.
Okay.
Well, time to drain the main vein.
Screw this, I'm out. Oh shit.
Hey there. How do you like it?
Dad's full of shit, run.
Hi, Sarah.
Nope.
The gameplay throws a lot of new things at you, but only if you haven't played anything but Call of Duty in the last 10 years. You have the wall running and the super jumps from Titanfall. You have cybernetic implants and abilities that feel almost inspired by BioShock and Deus Ex. The only thing that doesn't feel much different are the weapons, which for the most part are still variations on the standard assault rifles, pistols, and rocket launchers of the previous games. You have various grid effects that can be overlaid onto the HUD that show you enemy placement, ammo stashes, and so on. But when it all boils down to it, this is the same stop-and-pop shooting gallery it's been for a decade. The graphics are decent, but nothing that you haven't seen before, especially if you've already played through Advanced Warfare. The musical score is forgettable, the sound effects do their job, nothing mind-blowing. Most of the acting is passable at best, with Maloney's performance being the only standout, and even then he's mainly just playing the same hard-ass character he always plays. There's several additional modes to go through, such as a sort of obstacle course, a 4-player online co-op mode of the main campaign, and of course, zombie mode. Lastly, once you beat the campaign, it unlocks Nightmare mode, which is just the single-player campaign with all the enemies replaced with zombies. Finally, there's the multiplayer. All the cybernetic enhancements from the campaign are missing here, replaced with specialist characters you can unlock, each with their own special move that can be used once or twice during a match, depending on the length of the match. Of course, everyone gravitates to these special characters, so each match ends up looking for all the world like a MOBA where you're constantly killing or being killed by the same 3 or 4 characters over and over again. The initial 12 maps are nice to look at, and for the most part are laid out well, though the wall running and super jumping almost seems like an afterthought, since there's several invisible barriers preventing you from running on walls you should be able to wall run on, or jumping onto roofs you should be able to reach. Otherwise, it's your standard affair, replete with the same 12-year-old kids yelling at you and campers hiding and waiting for you to run by so they can shoot your ankles off.
Eight! Eight the boy! You've been bad, Eight! Time to take your medicine. Eight.
Piss off.
Eight! Little Eighth, let me come in.
Not by the hair of your double chin.
Then I'll huff, and I'll puff, and I'll slit you from your nose down to your toes, and then back up to your mother. No, that's not right. Then I'll huff, and I'll puff, and I'll blow your house down. Barf! Sarah, darling, love of my life, I'm not gonna hurt you. I'm just gonna beat you till you can't feel feelings anymore. Mother! There goes my Johnnies!
Stay down, numbnuts.
This game had so much potential and a lot of content for your $60, but a meandering, nonsensical plot ruined by a twist it didn't need, coupled with an almost dogmatic need to stay as traditional as possible and be new and fresh at the same time, results in a game with an identity crisis, a mishmash of old worn-out concepts and ideas stolen from other franchises and games and movies. Even Chris Maloney himself couldn't save it. Call of Duty Black Ops 3 gets a 4 out of 7.